Why are Americans moving to India? Over the past few years, a fascinating trend has been unfolding. Americans, from students and entrepreneurs to digital nomads and retirees, are increasingly choosing India as their new home. At first, this might sound surprising. After all, for decades, the flow was the other way around. Indians moving to the United States in search of education, opportunity, and a better life. But now, the tide is shifting. Why? Because India has transformed into one of the world's fastest-growing economies, offering affordability, innovation, and cultural richness in ways that the U.S. simply cannot match right now. With housing prices in American cities skyrocketing and healthcare costs becoming unmanageable, many people are asking, what if there's a better life abroad? And for a growing number, that answer is India. So in this video, we'll dive deep into the top 10 Indian cities attracting Americans, explore the lifestyle shifts and cultural adjustments expats face, and reflect on the lessons learned when making the move across continents. Stick with me until the end, because we'll also ask you, if you had to choose one Indian city to live in, which would it be? When most people think about migration between the United States and India, they imagine it moving in one direction. Indians packing their bags, heading to Silicon Valley, New York, or Chicago, chasing the American dream. But something surprising is happening today. The script is flipping. More and more Americans are now packing their bags, leaving behind the skyscrapers of Manhattan or the suburbs of California, and moving halfway across the world to India. Picture this: a Wall Street consultant who once lived in a cramped New York apartment now enjoying a spacious villa in Bengaluru for a fraction of the cost. A yoga enthusiast from Los Angeles trading the fast pace of Hollywood for the peaceful ghats of Rishikesh. Or a young tech worker from Austin who realizes that some of the biggest career opportunities aren't back home, but in India's booming startup ecosystem. These aren't isolated cases. They're part of a growing movement. Here's the shocker. India's expat population is steadily increasing, and Americans are one of the fastest growing groups in this wave. Why? Well, for starters, the cost of living in many Indian cities is 60 to 70% lower than in the United States. That means the same salary that barely covers rent in San Francisco can provide a comfortable, even luxurious lifestyle in Pune, Hyderabad, or Kochi. But it's not just about cheaper housing or affordable meals. It's about opportunity, meaning, and lifestyle. This isn't just a trickle. It's a genuine trend reshaping the expat map of the world. From corporate managers sent by U.S. companies to oversee outsourcing operations in Bengaluru to entrepreneurs who see India's massive market as a land of possibility. To spiritual seekers searching for peace in Rishikesh or Haridwar, Americans are finding their second home in India. They're coming for business, but staying for something deeper: community, culture, and connection. So, why is this happening? What makes India so attractive right now, at a time when most Americans traditionally look toward Europe, Mexico, or Southeast Asia when moving abroad? And what does life actually look like once they settle here? That's exactly what we're diving into in this video. Together, we'll explore why Americans are choosing India in greater numbers, from affordability to career opportunities to spirituality. The top 10 Indian cities where Americans are moving the fastest. Places like Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru, and even surprising hubs like Kochi and Jaipur. The cultural and lifestyle adjustments they face, the food, the language, the traffic, the joys, and the frustrations. And finally, what India teaches these expats: lessons in resilience, adaptability, and growth. By the end of this video, you'll see why India is no longer just a tourist destination on a bucket list. It's becoming home, a real, lasting home, for thousands of Americans who are trading the West for the East, and in the process, discovering a whole new way of life. So, let's begin this journey and uncover why India is becoming home for millions of Americans. Why Americans are moving to India. So, why are more and more Americans leaving behind the so-called land of opportunity to find opportunity, stability, or even peace in India? The answer isn't just one thing. It's a mix of economics, career, culture, and something far deeper. Let's break it down. Cost of living advantage. The first and perhaps biggest factor is cost of living. In cities like New York, Los Angeles, or San Francisco, $3,000 a month might barely cover a small apartment with no room for luxuries. In Bengaluru, that same amount could rent you a spacious three-bedroom apartment in a prime neighborhood, often with security, gym access, and sometimes even a pool. In fact, many expats report that they can find comfortable homes for $500 to $800 a month, a fraction of U.S. prices. And it doesn't stop at housing. Food, transport, and domestic help are far more affordable in India. A home-cooked meal prepared by a hired cook costs less than a single takeout order in New York. Taxi rides through Uber or Ola cost a few dollars instead of 30. Even healthcare, often a nightmare in the U.S., is accessible and much cheaper in India. This affordability is particularly attractive to digital nomads and remote workers. An American earning dollars online can stretch their income much further in India, living comfortably while saving money, something that's becoming harder and harder in the U.S. Career opportunities, it's not just about stretching dollars. Many Americans are also moving to India for work itself. With U.S. companies outsourcing large portions of their operations to India, managers and consultants from the States are often sent to oversee projects in Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Pune. Beyond outsourcing, India's booming IT, consulting, and research sectors are opening doors for skilled professionals. From software development and AI research to pharmaceuticals and climate studies, Americans are finding opportunities that not only pay well, but also offer unique career growth. There's also a lifestyle component. Many remote workers based in India say they enjoy a better work-life balance, with shorter commutes, lower stress, and access to vibrant communities of entrepreneurs and freelancers. For some, India offers not just a job, but a new way of living. Spiritual attraction. But the pull toward India isn't purely financial or professional. For decades, India has been a magnet for people searching for spiritual growth and inner peace. Yoga teacher training programs, Ayurveda wellness centers, and ashrams in Rishikesh, Haridwar, and Kerala continue to attract thousands of Americans each year. Even some of the most famous names in tech and business found inspiration here. Steve Jobs famously visited India in the 1970s in search of spiritual guidance. And Mark Zuckerberg credited a trip to an Indian ashram as a turning point for his company's early struggles. For many Americans, the saying holds true. India is where you go to find your inner self. Today, the number of Americans not just visiting, but staying long-term in these spiritual hubs is rising. Many become yoga teachers themselves, wellness coaches, or simply adopt India as their permanent home because it gives them something the West often lacks: a sense of meaning and stillness. Education and research. India isn't just exporting talent anymore, it's importing it too. Professors, researchers, and educators from the U.S. are increasingly drawn to Indian universities, international schools, and research institutes. In fields like pharma, AI, climate science, and engineering, India's growing investments create unique opportunities for international collaboration. American professors are teaching at institutions in Delhi, Pune, and Hyderabad, while expat teachers are finding rewarding positions in international schools across the country. This exchange benefits both sides. India gains expertise and global perspectives, while Americans gain the chance to be part of a rapidly evolving education and research ecosystem. Cultural curiosity, and then there's culture. For many Americans, the chance to live in a country as vibrant and diverse as India is reason enough. Imagine celebrating Holi, the festival of colors, in the streets of Jaipur, or lighting diyas during Diwali in Delhi, or enjoying authentic biryani in Hyderabad or filter coffee in Chennai. Food alone is an adventure. Indian cuisine is one of the most popular in the U.S. But living in India means discovering the real thing, from street food chaat to royal thalis. For culture lovers, the history, art, music, and architecture of India provide endless inspiration. This cultural richness is what turns short stays into lifelong commitments. Many Americans arrive curious, but they stay because they fall in love with the rhythm of daily life in India. Foreshadow. So, affordability, careers, spirituality, education, and culture. Together, these forces explain why thousands of Americans are choosing India as their new home. But here's the twist. While India as a whole is attractive, certain cities are emerging as real hotspots. From Jaipur's palaces to Bengaluru's startups, from Goa's beaches to Delhi's global scene. These cities are where the trend is most visible. So next, let us dive into the top 10 Indian cities where Americans are moving the fastest and see why each of them is shaping this new wave of reverse migration. Jaipur, heritage meets startups. Jaipur, known globally as the Pink City, is where centuries-old palaces and forts meet the energy of a modern startup ecosystem. Its UNESCO World Heritage sites and royal architecture attract Americans not just as tourists, but as long-term residents who see opportunity in blending heritage with business. The city is growing as an IT hub, while also excelling in craft exports and renewable energy initiatives. For digital nomads and entrepreneurs, the affordable cost of living makes it easier to stretch savings or reinvest into local ventures. Many Americans here have even launched boutique hotels, heritage homestays, and cultural tourism startups, capitalizing on Jaipur's global appeal while enjoying a slower, more culturally immersive lifestyle. Chandigarh, India's planned city designed by the famous French architect Le Corbusier, Chandigarh stands out as India's first planned city. Unlike the chaotic growth of other metros, Chandigarh offers clean roads, organized sectors, and an abundance of greenery. This attracts professionals in IT, architecture, and healthcare, fields where Americans find both opportunities and lifestyle comfort. Expats appreciate the city's safety and its proximity to the Himalayan foothills, allowing for weekend escapes into nature. The well-developed infrastructure, cosmopolitan cafes, and strong civic sense make Chandigarh particularly appealing to those who prefer order and structure without sacrificing Indian cultural experiences. Rishikesh and Haridwar, spiritual hubs. For Americans seeking something beyond material success, Rishikesh and Haridwar represent a kind of spiritual homeland. Known as the yoga capital of the world, Rishikesh draws thousands who want to deepen their practice or even become yoga teachers themselves. Many Americans now live long-term in ashrams or run their own yoga schools, blending Eastern spirituality with Western teaching styles. Ayurveda tourism, meditation retreats, and the constant flow of international seekers make this region a hotspot for wellness industries. The sacred Ganga River, combined with the supportive community of spiritual travelers, makes these twin cities a natural choice for Americans on a quest for meaning, balance, and connection. Goa, from beaches to business. Goa may have started as a hippie haven, famous for its beaches and free-spirited culture, but today it is evolving into one of India's hottest remote work and creative hubs. Americans flock here not just for the sunsets, but also for the growing ecosystem of startups, artists, and digital entrepreneurs. Compared to California's expensive beach towns, Goa offers a much more affordable lifestyle, while still delivering the sand, surf, and cosmopolitan community. Co-working spaces, wellness retreats, and music festivals create an environment where business seamlessly blends with leisure. For many Americans, Goa represents the sweet spot between work and play. Kochi, gateway to Kerala and the Middle East. Kochi's history as a spice trading hub has given it an international outlook for centuries. Today, it is reinventing itself as a modern port city with global connections. The Smart City IT Park attracts tech professionals, while Ayurveda tourism and shipbuilding industries continue to expand. For Americans with business interests in the Gulf, Kochi's proximity to the Middle East makes it a convenient base. The cost of living is modest, and the lush backwaters of Kerala offer a tranquil backdrop for a balanced lifestyle. Kochi is increasingly popular among American entrepreneurs, wellness practitioners, and those seeking a coastal life with lessons and reflections. Living in India as an American is not just about where you stay or what work you do. The real transformation happens in the lessons you carry away, lessons that go far beyond professional success or cultural exposure. Lesson 1. Patience. If there's one virtue India will teach you quickly, it's patience. Bureaucratic processes, from getting a local SIM card to setting up a business, can feel like a test of endurance. Appointments run late, paperwork requires multiple stamps, and sometimes tomorrow really means next week. For Americans used to streamlined systems, this can be frustrating. But those who stick it out often realize that these hurdles build resilience. Learning to breathe, wait, and accept uncertainty becomes a skill that pays dividends in other parts of life. Lesson 2. Adaptability. India is a country of contrasts. Skyscrapers beside slums, luxury malls next to street markets, traditions alongside cutting-edge innovation. To thrive here, adaptability isn't optional, it's essential. Embracing cultural differences, whether it's greeting elders with respect, celebrating Diwali with neighbors, or adjusting to a vegetarian diet, opens doors to deeper relationships and understanding. Americans who once felt overwhelmed often end up becoming far more flexible, empathetic, and open-minded than when they first arrived. Lesson 3. Growth. Ultimately, the greatest reward is growth. Personal, professional, and even spiritual. Professionally, India offers Americans opportunities to lead teams, launch startups, or contribute to industries shaping the future, from IT to renewable energy. Personally, the exposure to diverse perspectives challenges assumptions and expands horizons. Spiritually, whether through yoga in Rishikesh, meditation retreats, or simply the day-to-day practice of gratitude amid chaos, many Americans discover a deeper sense of self. There's a famous saying among expats: if you can thrive in India, you can thrive anywhere. The country is not always easy, but it is transformative. It demands the best of you and, in return, gives lessons that last a lifetime. India doesn't just change your address. It changes your outlook, your resilience, and your capacity for growth. Call to action. So, as we wrap up this journey, let's take a moment to recap what we've uncovered. We started by asking why Americans are moving to India, and we discovered a landscape of opportunity, a lower cost of living, thriving career prospects, and cities that balance tradition with innovation. From Jaipur's heritage charm to Bengaluru's role as India's Silicon Valley, each city offers something unique for expats seeking a new life abroad. We also looked at the lifestyle shifts, learning patience in the face of bureaucracy, adapting to cultural rhythms, and growing in ways that many Americans never imagined before stepping onto Indian soil. These lessons aren't just about surviving in a new country. They are about thriving in a world that challenges you to stretch beyond comfort zones. Here's the final thought. India is no longer just a destination. For many Americans, it's becoming home, a place to work, to live, and to grow. And now, I'd like to hear from you. If you had to live in one Indian city, which would it be? Jaipur, Goa, Bengaluru, or somewhere else entirely? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'd love to see which cities resonate most with you. Before you go, don't forget to hit like if this video gave you new insights. Subscribe if you want more stories about global living, and share it with someone who's been thinking about moving abroad. And here's a teaser for what's next. Why India is becoming the world's expat capital. We'll explore how India is positioning itself as the top destination for global talent, entrepreneurs, and dreamers alike. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep imagining the possibilities of a life beyond borders. Strong Global Links.